I mean, where else are you going to go to start a set? I talk about this all the time when I'm on commentary. And we're going to get those PK fires started. That is going to be a big tool as well for ATATA. If he can make good use out of those PK fires, it's really going to make Louis Money's life very difficult, especially the aerial version of PK fire.
Yes, and I'll say this, what we just saw for Louis Money does not bode well for ATATA because he got PK fired off stage. That is about as dangerous of a spot as you can be against Ness, and Louis Money remained entirely composed, just drifted back and got a perfect recovery, and then turned it into a taken stock off of ATATA. That's very good stuff. Louis Money looks composed in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, that right there is just a prime example of what Palutena does best and also what Louis Money does best as a player, and that is just prevent your opponent from doing anything once they're on the ledge right there. Really he is able to get off this time with that forward air, but that ledge play is really going to be like the difference maker in this set.
Yeah, really good sharking there for ATATA to make it hard for Louis Money to fully pressure. ATATA's never going to let you get too comfortable pressuring him off stage, and that's a good example of that right there. So we'll see how Louis Money can kind of wax and wane his aggression to keep ATATA on the back foot, as that's another great way of working his way back on the stage. But now how do you get to center stage? ATATA's able to do it in this case, but it's never a small feat against Louis Money.
Yeah, finally able to push himself towards center stage, but it still doesn't really feel like he's in control. But he's going to use that yo-yo, and in that situation, Louis Money really has no options. You're either going to take the shield break or you're going to get hit by the yo-yo.
Yeah, and that's an interesting situation there because that is a little bit less of a checkmate than people would often see. If you watched ATATA versus Loaf earlier, a lot of the times Loaf got out of that situation on the shield pretty easily, so that tends to be a knowledge check. And right there, Louis Money just wasn't able to get out of it, but ATATA finds himself too low, and he's forced to just use the PK Thunder to tack on some extra damage, as Louis Money's edge guarding has been too strong so far.
Yeah, he's just been really good at putting himself in the right spot, even when he's not necessarily hitting ATATA out there. He's just knowing where to position himself to force ATATA to go even lower, even further away, and oh my god, he is dead!
Good lord, ATATA. That is the type of momentum swing that you need as Ness in this matchup. It's so tough to take these stocks off Palutena, and that down air is a great way to do it.
Oh, but the counter! Oh, so what he did there was he used the counter not necessarily to hit Ness, but just to force his recovery to stop. When you hit Ness in the middle of his PK Thunder, for those who are not aware, he loses his forward momentum and he actually just stops going anywhere. So sometimes people will actually throw themselves down there off stage when they're at lower percents and just willingly get hit by the move just to stop Ness from recovering. He had the ability to do that because he was already at 0. You're either going to get hit by the counter or what we just saw right there. The counter is going to miss, but Ness just dies anyway.
Yeah, that's a situation that's kind of fundamental to edge guarding Ness if you have had a lot of familiarity with the matchup, is that once he's far enough away, you can just body block his recovery and it doesn't go nearly as far once it hits something. So there, Louis Money knew that the counter might not have actually connected with ATATA, but he knew that it would shorten the length of his recovery. That's good matchup knowledge.
All right, so and then we are a couple seconds into this game, and ATATA is already back off stage, and Louis Money's got him in the corner. And that is not the way you want to start off game 2 after the way game 1 ended.
Yeah, off stage right away goes ATATA back-to-back times. I like that he's getting aggressive off stage, though. That's kind of what Ness needs to do in this matchup. He needs to get the most out of every advantage state that he has. And that right there was a very risky move from ATATA. He's kind of lucky that Louis Money didn't get a bigger punish off of it, but he lives to fight another day.
I'd like to just take a small moment to appreciate that little interaction. It didn't really lead to anything, but I just thought it was really cool. So ATATA threw out PK Fire. As Louis Money got out of it, he reflected it, but ATATA absorbed it with his magnet and just got a little bit of a heal. It didn't really do a whole lot for either one of them. I just thought it was really cool. I just really appreciate the little interactions like that between the characters.
Yeah, ATATA very prepared that Louis Money might throw that out to try and interrupt his advantage state.
Oh, here comes the yo-yo.
And now this is what's going to happen. It's going to be really hard to actually time it and take the stock. So sometimes you just wait for the Palutena player to mess up. Louis Money, though, not going to do that. He's going to play efficient enough and force ATATA to try and ledge trump and take the stock eventually, but now off stage.
Oh, he misses the edge guard, though, and Louis Money gets back to the stage, but that back air is going to clean it up. ATATA actually got the stock lead now.
Yeah, ATATA looking very strong in this second game. His off-stage flowchart has really been putting him above and beyond in this game, but now without a double jump, it's going to be really hard to make it back, and he goes for a super tight angle on the air dodge, just couldn't find it.
Yeah. Is he going to be able to rack up the damage as fast as Palutena is, though? Look at those nairs, so consistent of a combo move.
And now in disadvantage, and that's against Palutena. The options are so limited. The F-tilt covers so many options over such a long period of time. Very smart weight there from ATATA. Gets under the first down tilt. And this could be dangerous here in the corner.
But now, once again, ATATA is the one back in the corner, and he's got to get off the ledge. He does get off with that nair, and he's able to start pushing Louis Money towards the other side of the stage.
It's a great back air here from ATATA, and now off stage yet again. ATATA's going to be pressuring. Looking to take a pretty solid lead here, as this back air is threatening, even with the big disjoints of Palutena.
Yeah.
Ness back air remains threatening.
Oh, that was a big heel right there. He's all the way back down at 36 now.
Yeah, smooth 15 to 20% right away for ATATA. Now it's going to be even harder for Louis Money to take the stock and even up the game. But with how many options Palutena has in this matchup, Ness still has his work cut out for him. ATATA still has to work so hard to find this move to take the stock.
He's still up in the air. How does he get down?
Finally finds the ground, but immediately gets grabbed by Louis Money. The air dodge down to the ledge.
And that's going to be a back throw.
Yeah, great opportunity to find that grab. Just playing just evasive enough to bait out an option from Louis Money and find the grab. And now off stage, Louis Money needs to make his money's worth here and tie things up.
ATATA jump.
Yeah, ATATA goes for something really deep.
That's going to be a sharp angle. Oh my God, how did he do that angle?
Yeah, that angle is tough to find, but ATATA of all players
please, I want to learn to do that angle.
Tough stuff there, but he makes it back to ledge, and this could be a big extension. The grab is going to throw him off stage, and ATATA's found a lot of success throwing Louis Money off stage. These down tilts just trying to put pressure on, not give Louis Money any stage control. He's doing a good job at that, but eventually the back air gives him some reprieve.
Using that air dodge to get back to stage, but the inner hitbox of the down tilt sending Ness out, and he's going to die. And now we've got even stocks, and only 49% on Palutena. This is as good as even.
Yeah, this is the thing where ATATA has such a big lead, but taking a stock is still going to be a puzzle. It's never bread and butter against Palutena in this matchup, as Ness is just trying to find any option, going for a down air, getting aggressive, not quite finding it though, as the back air sends you off stage.
That back air is just putting in so much work for Louis Money. ATATA just doesn't really seem to have an answer for it.
And the second back air is going to shield poke. And Ness as a character has such a hard time answering to that Palutena back air. A really smart way there from ATATA. He knew that Louis Money wanted the air dive.
But that down air comes out from Louis Money, and we're off stage once again.
ATATA is getting all these brief timing mix-ups to allow himself to survive time and time again from disadvantage. Louis Money isn't able to find these stocks, and another early mix-up there from ATATA allows him another shot at taking the stock, and it's not going to be easy. That could have been an up smash, but the Nair can get it done.
He catches him going back to the ledge, and ATATA actually evens up the game count. That was such a smart decision right there to keep the yo-yo charging.
Yeah, ATATA had an option to go for an up smash earlier on when he had Louis Money with a spot dodge read right in front of him, but ATATA wanted to be safe, make sure he had time to get his move out. So he threw out the slightly quicker Nair. That's going to come out on frame 8 after the jump squat, and then the up smash is going to come out on frame 10 out of shield. So it's just barely slower, and ATATA wanted to make sure that he got it out in time, and he did just that. He got Louis Money into the corner, and he made it work from there.
Yeah, in those tight situations, every frame matters. And of course, players at the level of Louis Money and ATATA are going to be aware of how fast their moves are in those situations. And when it comes down to it, sometimes you got to play it safe. Even if you feel like you might be able to get it out, you might be able to catch him slipping, better to just take the safe option. ATATA does just that and ends up cleaning up that game.
Yeah, it's a great awareness there from Louis Money to throw out that counter, knowing that a lot of Ness players like to try and catch landings with PK Fire because you get a way stronger hitbox of it if you catch a landing with it. Very aware of that, Louis Money throws up the counter and has since been able to kind of convert this game into a favorable position.
Here comes trying to get out of the corner right now. But those fares and that back air are just really doing a lot to just not necessarily hit ATATA, but just to keep him where Louis Money wants him. And that is in the corner and potentially off stage.
Yeah, in the corner with his back to ATATA. That is the spot where he's the absolute strongest. And you're seeing this happen a lot. When ATATA's in the corner, Louis Money is just posting up under that platform with his back to ATATA. And you're seeing it right now.
Yeah.
Because that back air is going to cover so many things that ATATA can do, and that up air does the same thing.
And 71%, not really a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. ATATA's still got his work cut out for him if he wants to even up the stock count here.
Yeah, he's going to need a few more openings to take this next stock, and Louis Money is just the eye of consistency right now. A lot of damage gets tacked on. The dash attack to cover landings, it's such a strong option for that. And now ATATA, with his back against the wall,
here comes
is able to reverse the situation.
And that's the second time we've seen ATATA fail to get the ledge trump back air in that situation.
Yeah, and that's the thing that you eventually have to go for something against. A good Palutena is not just going to SD from the yo-yos over and over. So you either have to try and let the yo-yo rip early and time it for a 2-frame, or you have to commit to something like that ledge trump back air.
And That's going to be a back throw, not nearly going to kill, but gets the ledge cancel and sets up here at the ledge once again. What's the option? It's going to be another steep angle, but he once again gets it. ATATA just so good at those angles, and he gets the back throw out of it. He did take 128% on his way to getting that, though, so still not in the greatest position.
Yeah, that was a great timing mix-up from ATATA off stage. They're hitting the stage on purpose and baiting Louis Money to charge that up smash and able to stall his second up B long enough to get back on stage. And yeah, now all the way up to 40%, but ATATA is looking to lose his next stock before he can do much more than that.
Tries to get the up smash there, but ATATA delays his recovery just long enough.
Yeah, going for the up smash there is interesting from Louis Money because a reactionary down tilt from Palutena is just about one of the best moves in the game for two-framing that Ness recovery. Because if you get the weak hit of it, you can combo it into a back air. At this percent, it'll probably be an up air. And then if you get the early hit of it, it just straight up kills. So I'm surprised to see Louis Money not going for what tends to be a very consistent option in edgeguarding Ness, but that back air, close to 160%, still not going to do it.
We're at 160%, and yeah, that Nair definitely going to take it off the side. But as we saw, ATATA can definitely bring this back. If he can rack up a little bit more damage, maybe get another one of those back throws. He's got long road ahead of him, though. But that's going to be a down smash, and he catches the DI out as well. That was huge for ATATA right there to even up the stocks and not take a whole lot of percent on his way to doing so.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Against Palutena, you can't just hold the yo-yo. You have to try and time it. You have to try and get the legitimate two-frame. And right there, ATATA does just that to take the stock. But now we're looking to combo that weak hit down tilt into a back air as Louis Money under the platform back to Ness.
And here he goes. He's stuck in the air again. This has been a problem situation for ATATA. When he just gets stuck in the air there, he's just not really able to find a way out. And there you go. That's exactly what you were talking about. Down tilt back air. The definition of consistency.
Yeah, very solid. It's just really tough stuff for Louis Money, as that down tilt back air in the corner is just like such a solid way to set up Ness. It's really tough to do.
We're just going to keep running it back to PS2. Neither of these players are budging when it comes to stage. They just feel like this is going to be a good old-fashioned slugfest. They're going to just try and outplay each other the whole time. Right now, Louis Money up in games 2-1. Can ATATA answer back once again? We're about to find out.
2, 1,
All right, we will see, as it's been rough for ATATA from time to time, but he's gotten a few big swings. It is those big momentum shifters, but Louis Money is going to find the first one of this game.
You want to talk momentum shifters? That's the way to open up a game 4. He said, I'm not fooling around. I'm not giving you the chance to even up the games again. I want this over now.
Yeah, that was a really good option from Louis Money. He missed a chance to do just that earlier on in the game. And ATATA, in a rough spot, went a little bit too low. Louis Money just ran down there and took the down air right away.
And now he's going to be racking up the damage here and only taking 52% on his way to putting Ness at 50% on his second stock. ATATA just needs something big right now.
Yeah,
looking for the PK Thunder.
We need something huge. Looking to hit himself with the PK Thunder, get a lot of damage. Hasn't done that quite yet as ATATA.
And he's going to swing back from the corner stage again.
Generally in this set, ATATA's been doing a good job making Louis Money scared to fully pressure off stage. But right there at the beginning of this set, Louis Money found a lot of confidence running off stage, and it's going to make it a lot easier for him to find these early stocks against ATATA.
Doesn't really have an option for Palutena being on the platform there, but he is going to get him off stage with a Nair. Goes to the ledge. Oh, he had the right idea, but just went the wrong way with that grab.
Yeah, ATATA was absolutely ready for that teleport, just could not quite get the spacing, and there's the down tilt. He catches the aerial hitbox of it, and that could have been a combo into a back air, but didn't quite do it. And now ATATA getting risky in the corner. Eventually, though, Louis Money finds the grab. Back throw not quite going to do it.
He is going to heal a little bit off of that explosive flame, but he's only going to heal off of one hit. And in the end, as we saw, didn't really do a whole lot for him. 3 stocks to 1 right now for Louis Money. Sorry, make that 2 stocks to 1. Commentator's curse. My apologies.
Yeah, the up smash is going to come through and catch that landing on the side of ATATA. That could have been a huge opening. That up air from ledge is one of Ness's best options to tack on a bunch of damage and would have brought this game to a much closer situation. But really right now, it's looking like the Louis Money show as he's trying to get stylish.
He's putting on a show for you guys, just as we are trying to do right now.
Yeah, that Nair into a grab to send off stage.
Oh, he does catch the teleport
if he has an opportunity to catch another teleport, but just couldn't get it to work out.
Here's the down throw, puts him on the platform, and is able to catch him with the Nair. ATATA is just really looking like he's struggling to get anything going. coming.
Yeah, that was very smart from Louis Money. He waited there because he knew that ATATA would not have had the distance if he just waited at ledge and absorbed the full extent of that recovery. So Louis Money just taking it on a very smart ledge guard and taking a nice set 3-1 over ATATA.